Hello guys, today we're going to be talking about how to write a successful Germany visa SOP, right? So in previous videos we've talked about, we've reviewed Germany studies, we've talked about some of the mistakes you should avoid while studying in Germany. Today we want to critically discuss how to write a Germany visa SOP. Visa SOP is the document you write, you attach along with other documents you use for your visa application. It's usually a document where you use to communicate with the officers why you want to study in the country, they've been granted admission, and part of your preparations to study in the country. It covers a lot of things down to how you plan on funding yourself and what you plan on doing with certificates after your studies. Now, the typical visa SOP, the outline starts with your opening, your address, you're the sender, so your address, the receiver's address. You're going to have the salutation, and then you're going to have the heading or the title of the letter. Now, the title of the letter, title of the SOP, which is usually motivation to study or application for visa, student visa, study visa, however the case may be. Now, after that, you have your introduction. So the introduction is usually simple. Hello, my name is Richard. I am from XX. I've been granted admission to study in this school, and this is the period I'm going to be in Germany. So I am writing to seek for student visa, right? Don't worry, I'm going to attach this later on in another slide. You're going to see a sample of how the introduction would be. So after that introduction, you can now go into talking about your background. So it could be your academic and professional background all in one. So for instance, I have a background in petroleum engineering. After my studies, I've been working here, and this is how my career has transitioned, and now I want to proceed to study a master's in petroleum engineering, just for instance. After that, the next thing you want to talk about is why do you want to go and study in that country or in that school. You give the reasons. The next to be why you want to, how you plan on funding yourself. After how you plan on funding yourself, the next thing will probably be your home ties and why you would come back to your country. Now, the reason why you want to talk about why you come back to your country is because they don't want to get the impression that you're trying to escape from your country, and then you want to use that route, and there are places where you want to get that kind of thing. So it's also the reason why you talk about your financials, because they don't want someone who come to their country and get stranded, right? They want to be sure that you're credible, you can take care of yourself, and you will not abandon the school you came for to start looking for money just because you can't keep up with the expenses, right? Especially if you're coming from a country that you're coming from a non-tier one country, you have a lot to prove. So, and you also have to prove that, okay, you have the minimum amount of money that can take you through studies, right? Then after talking about your financials and your home ties, you want to talk about your future plan. What's your plan in the future with this certificate or with this degree you're trying to go and gain in their country, right? So you want to talk about that, and then after that, you summarize your letter. It's that simple. That is the outline. So I'll go through it again. Number one, the outline for your visa SOP, your address, the receiver's address, opening salutation, the title of the letter, the introduction, your background, your purpose of study or motivation, your academic and professional background, reason for picking the school, reason for picking the country, financial plans, your home ties, plans after study, your closing salutation. So guys, that is the right outline for your visa SOP. You sometimes you might find that while writing, they must not have singular paragraphs. Some of them might all be encompassed in one paragraph. You can find out that you address two reasons in one paragraph. It is also allowed. So at the end of the day, you just have to have the idea that your visa SOP covers this thing, and that is what will make your visa SOP successful. In the next slide, we're going to talk about we're going to review a sample of a visa SOP that was approved. We're going to look at it. What did the writer do? What are the things that made it successful? And it's going to guide you in writing your own SOP. Come along with me, guys. So just like I promised, here is a sample of a Germany Student Visa SOP that got approved, right? The particular student that used this SOP, we had an interview once with him, and he promised to share his SOP that got him approved. And so here it is, and we're going to go through it and try to see what he did right that made his visa got approved. I'll also attach a link to the video he had with us where he talked about how to study in Germany somewhere in this video, right? Okay, so I'm the one that added this, so you don't necessarily need to add that. So like I explained in my previous answer, here is your address and all that, your name, dates, and this side is the receiver's address. Of course, you know that. Now here is your salutation. Here's the outline for the title of the SOP. Now this is where the work starts, your introduction. As you can see from this introduction, is very brief and straight to the point. I write to apply for a student visa to continue my master's studies in roads to democracies at the University of Siegen, Germany. One unique thing about this particular student is that he was on scholarship, and he did the first session of his study, if I recall correctly, he did the first session of his studies in his country. Then the second session, he had to travel to Germany to complete it. And that's why you're seeing continue my master's. So it meant he had already started. That in a way helped the officers to also understand he was not just trying his luck. He's already there. He's already a student. He has already paid his tuition and all that. So it's also important, if you can, if you have the funds, go ahead to pay your tuition. It will help you. It will help convince the embassy that you're serious about your studies. Now, the second paragraph, as you can see here, he talked about the motivation for his study. Why does he want to study, or why is he studying the course he's studying? And you can see what he said about it is his own experience. You're free to add your own experience, your own motivation, your reason. You need to talk about it in your SOP. After that, he talked about why or how he came about the school in question and the course, and why he picked the school. And you can see where he made them specific. It's nothing generic. He went ahead to talk about the lecturers he read about that influenced his decision to pick the school. For you, it could be the environment, it could be the history of the school, it could be maybe mentors that influenced you, it could be based on advice. Whatever is your unique reason for picking the school, you need to communicate it as clearly as possible. Now, the next thing he talked about is why he picked the country, or some of the things that influence his decision, some of the national factors that influence his decision. So there you have it. And the next one is what he plans to do after his studies, right? You remember when I said you need to talk about what you plan to do after your studies, and he also tied it down to his activities in Nigeria, where he has, or he's part of a foundation, and he looks forward to coming back and continue the good work they are doing in that foundation. For you, it could be your place of work, it could be your family you have, it could be your kids you're leaving behind, it could be the business you're leaving behind, whatever is whatever things you have in your country that would influence you to return, you need to state it too, right? And I explained earlier why it's important to do this. It's important because they want to be sure that okay, you have things that will bring you back. You have reasons to come back. For if things don't go right for you, where you're going, you won't be stranded. You have people and things to fall back to in your country. And here is his conclusion. This SOP is very straight to the point, and this is contrary to what a lot of people believe or a lot of people think that um, a visa SOP has to be long, 3,000 words. On the contrary, you're talking to a human, you're communicating with a human. They reason, they think, they understand you. So far you're convincing enough. You can do whatever you want to do in 1,000 words, in 800 words. Just have the areas you need to cover and ensure you found a way to communicate those things, and you would have a successful application, right? You have a successful application. In other SOP, they could be more detailed to include financials, the money they set aside. They could also include more proof of funds, more proof of home ties, more proof of career and past academic records. It's also allowed, right? This one, like you can see, is simple, straight to the point. So the reason why I use a simple one like this is because I want people to also know that it's not just about how long it is, it's about how well you're able to communicate. And if you follow the outline I've given in the former quick answer I gave, and then look at what has been done here, you would understand that you stand a chance. So far, you can communicate effectively what you want to go to the country to do and how you plan on staying there peacefully without breaking their laws and all that. So okay, so that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for taking our time to go through this video. Do well to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. If you do have any questions that you want us to answer regarding Germany Visa SOP, leave them in the comment section. If we need to create further explanatory videos for you, we will do that. Thank you so much, guys. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers, guys.